This episode of the Acts of Geekery podcast is brought to you by Earth, Fire, Water, Air, and Heart.
That's how this podcast runs, on the power of love.
That's
or
the
heart.
Power of love. Can we get sued for that?
No, because we didn't actually play the song.
That's true. It's parody.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Well, it is the Acts of Geekery podcast, episode 49.
This podcast is actually a parody of a real podcast.
Called the Acts
That should
of
be our title.
Nerdery.
That should be our title, parody of a real podcast.
Parody of a real podcast. I'm writing it down.
Yep.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek, here to bring you all the geeky things in the world of geekdom. It's been a little bit.
The universe of geekdom.
You may have noticed that we didn't have an episode last week.
That was Father's Day's fault.
Yeah.
Blame the holiday, people.
There were just some complications.
Blame it. And then blame our media manager for not posting on Facebook that we weren't going to have the thing.
It adds to the mystery. You know, as a DM, you
we
have
just
to add to the mystery. Like, you don't just have a guy sitting in a bar. You have a guy sitting in the corner, mostly covered in shadow with an eye patch and a cloak.
Well,
that gets people's interest. We are a podcast sitting in the corner with an eye patch.
Just to know if we ever end the podcast, you probably won't hear it. It'll just be gone. The page will just disappear.
No, that's my fault. I have my reasons for that, but we won't get into them. Instead, let's go ahead and get into the news.
Singing is contagious. I'll sing too.
Adam West, Adam West. A little bit softer now. Adam West, Adam West. Adam West, Adam West. I'll come out when they're all gone.
It's the news.
The news.
Instead of going over birthdays, we're doing things with birthdays a little differently now, I guess. We're not going to tell you the dates.
Well, yeah, no dates. Maybe not even ages. I don't really care about ages, do you?
Well, I think some of them are interesting.
Okay, sure.
I mean, Tobey Maguire turned 40.
What?
Yeah,
okay, you're right. That is interesting. Yep.
And J.J. Abrams turned 49.
Okay, I mean, that's kind of noticeable. You could tell. Sure.
Chandler Riggs.
I have no idea who that is.
That is Coral.
Carl?
Stay in the house, Coral.
Stay in the house, Coral?
He turned 16.
It's Chandler, quote, stay in the house, Riggs.
That would be... You know what? I'd be okay with that middle name.
Yeah, sure.
Joss Whedon, our Lord and Savior, turned 51. Selma Blair turned 43. Now she, because I can see that look in your eye.
That's not my eye. It's my whole face going, huh?
She is the pyromaniac in Hellboy.
Oh,
his girlfriend.
Okay. I actually really like her in that. We should go watch Hellboy.
Yeah, we need to go watch Hellboy. Zoe Saldana is 37. And finally...
the Queen of Geekdom.
Yeah, the Queen of Geekdom, Felicia Day, is 36.
She actually has a book out.
Today.
She has a book out called It's Okay to Be Weird on the Internet.
Yeah.
And then it says sometimes.
Sometimes.
And I actually want to get it. I'm curious to see...
I heard good things about it.
Because doesn't Will Wheaton have a book too? I think he has one. He needs to make one called Don't Be a Dick.
Don't Be a Dick.
Yeah,
by
just
Will
like
Wheaton.
just by his slogan. Yep.
Oh, we have one more birthday. The podcast is a year old.
Yay!
Yay! We are.
We have just. Let's see. What do you do when you're a year old? You still poop your pants, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. We can now say basic words. Maybe some phrases. I don't know.
Dada.
If you've listened to our podcast from day one, you know that we have not gotten any better at speaking.
You know what? Actually, we have.
I know.
We're a lot more comfortable now.
That's true. I mean, I'm leaning back.
I know.
I'm leaning. That's how comfortable I am.
You would only be more comfortable if you were laying down. Oh my gosh!
It can be like the psychiatrist episode. You'll be in a chair with a notepad, and I'll be laying down, and you'll be asking me my feelings.
I am in a chair with a notepad.
But you'll be asking me my feelings about how do you feel about the new Spiderman? And does that remind you of your mother? Spider-Man? Never mind. Move on.
Don't worry about it. Well, I thought it'd be fun, Scott, if we go back to episode 1 and look at some of the predictions that we had if we got them right.
Well, you'd be wrong.
News articles. That wouldn't be fun at all.
No.
All right, let's just move on then.
Go ahead.
Okay, so a few things that I thought were funny because I listened to the first episode. Well, first of all, the quality's a lot better these days. These new mics are great.
Yeah, and I think the production values have gone up.
Oh yeah,
we now spend $1 at least per episode.
Yes, exactly.
And instead of nothing. And there was no duck walking in this one.
Actually, you know what? There was no duck in the first one either.
It was the second one that was the duck.
Yeah, it started from the second one. So Nathan Fillion's cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy was the first topic on our first episode. And we were thinking he was either going to be playing a Nova character or the voice of Cosmo. Yeah. We were wrong. He's some random prison inmate.
Yeah, check out the new meat.
In fact, I'm going to write that down for a clip.
The fun thing is our picks would have been better, to be honest. Yep. If Nova would have came up and did some kind of mental mind deal or said something, or a Nova. He could have been a Nova, one of the pilots or something, and he says like shiny or something, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that would have been great.
But no.
No. But that was probably because of the director. And we know how tough he is to get this all into Marvel's universe. So maybe.
So next on our list is we got, on the first episode, we actually got a huge drop for like content where we got WB's leaked DC lineup.
Their supposed lineup for the next couple of years of all their movies.
Which was another weird thing because we went back and forth on the news to each other on that first episode, like telling each other the news.
Yeah, instead of you just telling me and me commenting on it.
Exactly. It's so weird. So looking at this list, the predicted list was Batman v Superman, Shazam, and Sandman for year 1, and then Wonder Woman and Justice League Part 1, and Green Lantern Flash team up for year 2, and then Man of Steel 2.
Yeah.
That entire list, except for Batman v Superman, is wrong.
Totally wrong, right?
Yep.
Because the current list is Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League Part 1, The Flash, Aquaman, Shazam, Justice League Part 2, Cyborg, and Green Lantern. So there's no team up.
Nope.
There's no
Sandman at all. Well, there is a Sandman movie in development. Just
that's true.
It's kind of its own separate thing.
There's no Man of Steel 2. So, yeah, I mean, interesting. Oh, and Suicide Squad was a total out of left field.
Yeah.
Shazam's been pushed back way far. We were right, however, on The Rock being Black Adam.
Actually, that was a go us.
Yeah.
And Jason Momoa did turn out to be Aquaman.
This is true.
But when we talked about it, everybody had all but confirmed it, but he wasn't saying anything for it. So
he was still going, oh, no.
We got Wonder Woman's costume wrong. Somebody had leaked that information, and it turned out to be completely hocus.
What did we? I don't remember.
It was like a blue skirt, and it was like she had a shield and a spear and that kind of stuff. It's completely wrong.
I mean, now she's got standard Wonder Woman kind of armored costume going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we talked about Batman v Superman and Captain America 3 back before it was Captain America Civil War in the same time slot, the same weekend.
Yeah.
And which one was going to be moving. And I would like to just point out that I was correct.
You were correct. You were correct.
Because DC doesn't have any faith in their projects.
Nope, they do not. And I kind of knew that back then. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, Batman, Superman, woo.
Gotta do it. And I remember I'm listening and you're like, and I was telling you that Wonder Woman was going to be in Batman v Superman. You were like, really? That's awesome.
Yeah. And now I look at it and I'm like, well,
maybe.
We'll see.
This was back before we knew there was going to be a Deadpool movie, and I spent a minute praying for it on the podcast, basically. And during this, we were talking about Guardians of the Galaxy and their IMAX feature. Did you forget that we saw that in IMAX? I forgot that we saw it in IMAX.
What? Why did we go see it in IMAX?
Because the director, James Gunn, was talking about how beautiful it was, and we agreed.
Oh, yeah, we did, and it was really awesome.
Apparently not enough that we remembered it. But you were saying, while we were talking about it, that you were more excited for Guardians of the Galaxy than you were for Avengers. So how did it hold up?
I'm still like Guardians of the Galaxy more than I like Avengers 2.
Okay.
And it's not that I don't like Avengers. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I just thought Guardians of the Galaxy was way more fun.
And then last but not least, Scott, do you remember when we used to do a topic every week?
A what?
A topic?
Where we actually had some semblance of organization about what we were going to talk about for the show, rather than us just going off the rails into random conversations and rants.
I'm so glad that we're done with those organized days. We've gone from normal society to Mad Max, and I love it.
We're not up to Fury Road yet, though.
So that's just some of the fun stuff that we talked about in our first week and everything. I'm pretty excited because this is actually around the time where a San Diego Comic-Con is going to be starting soon.
But we weren't actually not. I mean, there were a couple things we were off on. Mostly, this is a rumor.
Yeah. A lot of it seems to be like, oh, this is just the changing industry more than we're wrong.
Yeah. But I'd be curious if any of you listeners remember our older episodes and there's something we got so completely off base. I'd love to hear about it.
I would too.
Send us an email, actsofgeekery@gmail.com.
Is there a movie we thought was going to be good but turned out not to be? Seventh Son.
I don't know if we thought it would be good. We were curious about it. I actually have it, though.
You do?
I do.
We need to watch it.
Yeah, it's got terrible ratings.
I know, but I need to watch it just because it's fantasy.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the actual news. Not this fake 1-year-old news crap that we were talking about.
And by the way, this is 2 weeks of news. We've kind of condensed it to the stories that we thought were the most geeky, the most important to us.
Oh, really? Well, then we got to get rid of one of these then.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
I'm
just kidding.
But yeah.
But we're going to start out speaking of
Comic-Con. Not last week, the week before was E3.
Yes.
Huge announcements.
And then we had to miss this last week. So there's a little bit of news, lots of trailers and videos.
A lot of videos, a lot of trailers.
So let's start off with Comic-Con.
Okay.
They've been announcing a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool exclusives and everything.
Okay.
But Marvel is not going to Comic-Con. We talked about that several weeks ago.
That's like comic blasphemy.
Yeah.
Like what? Why?
And Kevin Feige came out and said why Marvel's not going to Comic-Con. And he said, to put it simply, we just don't have any content to show right now.
Oh,
so
I guess that's true.
It's not a matter of we just don't want to go or we think it's ridiculous. They just don't have anything.
Well,
they have a little bit. They could show a little bit from Civil War, maybe. I mean, the most they could show is a teaser, and that's just not fair.
Have they even started filming it all?
Mm-hmm. They've started filming.
I mean, I'm sure they filmed it, but I'm like, have they even got to the point where they have anything done well enough that they can actually release it? Because there's a lot that goes into like post-production for VFX and things like that. The green screen, the green screens get filled out.
And I think that's why they're in between, like after Avengers, pretty much. So they went up to Avengers: Age of Ultron, and then all production on other Marvel projects kind of stopped.
Yeah,
if you thought about it. And then now that Civil War is picking up, you've got Doctor Strange that's going to start filming here pretty soon, or it has started filming. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
And they're going to start working on all these other ones.
Well, I don't think that. Did they say they're not coming at all, or they just don't have anything new to show?
They said that they're not presenting like in the main panel.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I was because if they were not coming at all, then I'd be like, really? Because they still have a comic section. I mean, Marvel's not just movies.
They should, and they actually do have TV, Marvel TV stuff. They're doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we got a cool. Ooh yeah. New Agent Carter. We got a cool little teaser about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3 will feature the Secret Warriors, which is a group of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents with superpowers that Quake belongs to.
Nice.
So,
well, that's Saul Coulson's doing at the end of Season 2. Doesn't he say something like,
"Oh yeah, he answered like
we need to get a team together
to handle this kind of new threat." So, Season 3 of S.H.I.E.L.D. going to be more superpowers
if they've got the budget for it.
Yeah,
if they give them the budget for it,
it'll be Quake and the Lightning Guy and maybe a couple new ones. That's pretty. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. Oh, and Deathlock will probably be in there.
Oh yeah,
which I'm okay with. I like the guy that got to play Deathlock.
It's an interesting take on the character, I think. And it looks like they're slowly moving more towards the comic book version of him. But
well, I mean, the comic book version of him is he's an alternate reality Deathlock who came to our reality to kill the creator of the Deathlock, and he goes from reality doing that.
Weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really weird. Comics are strange.
Comics are very strange.
We love them.
Oh, absolutely. Star Wars Episode 7 is now predicted by top analysts to make $2 billion.
Excuse me. Point of fact. I actually said that.
Yeah.
I said that in one of our...
Yeah, but now it's official analyst, Scott.
I'm an official Marvel analyst. Or not Marvel. Well, no, I guess Disney owns them. So
yeah, I guess so.
yeah, I'm a movie analyst.
Yes, sure you are.
Yes, I said this. I said I bet you it will make $2 billion. Everyone rants and raves about the $1 billion mark, but a lot of movies come across. They always pass that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, especially now with how big like China's movie industry is and how
Just
many
the
people.
global market in general.
They can easily hit a billion.
Yeah.
I mean, Lucy hit like 700 million, and it was not well received at all here.
Nope.
But
do you want to know
everywhere
what, Scott? There's going to be a second one.
I saw that as you were scrolling down.
There is a second one in development.
I don't know how they're going to do that though.
Lucy 2, The Loosening.
She's not dead. She's not dead, but she like got turned into that giant computer thing, and
I don't know.
Well, whatever. I'm curious to see how they do that.
Well, that's all that they do these days. Sequels, because sequels make the most money, as evidenced by Jurassic World, which reached $1 billion by its 13th day of release.
Fastest movie in history to ever do that.
Not even 2 weeks.
Yeah, record broke records.
Incredible. Yeah. Everybody loves it, except for critics.
I thought it was all right. Did we talked about it?
We talked about it. Critics think that it is everything wrong with the movie industry these days. That they're just pulling out sequels and everything, and that's the only thing that can make money.
Okay, I'm sorry, critics, but if the general population didn't like it, they wouldn't go see it.
Exactly.
If I didn't, and I hate to say that I'm lowbrow on movies, but sometimes I am.
You know,
sometimes I go watch a Jurassic Park movie,
or you go watch Expendables, or
I go watch it not because I'm interested in a very compelling plot or all this crazy deep stuff. I want dinosaurs eating people, and I got that.
Yeah,
and I got plenty of that. So,
and then you criticized all of the fact that it wasn't deep. And
right. But I still enjoyed it. I still had a lot of fun.
Right. All right, sad news. I guess if you're a Hannibal fan, Hannibal has been canceled after 3 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really a Hannibal fan.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode.
You know what? I hear from people that have told me about the show, I hear it's really good.
That's what I hear too, but did they say why they canceled it? Was it ratings?
Probably.
Because if it was such a great show, why the ratings weren't very good?
I don't know. Firefly's ratings weren't very good.
No, but they were good enough to keep it if it didn't have a massive budget or a massive need for a budget.
Yeah, Almost Humans ratings weren't very good.
Again, all of them were very expensive. If they weren't expensive shows, they probably would still be on.
True.
I think that, you got to look at that from all perspectives.
That's very true.
That.
Ooh, I like this one that we put down here. Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto,
our new Kirk and Spock.
They have signed on for a 4th Star Trek movie.
That's awesome, because that just means we're getting 4 Star Treks.
And it also means that they backed that money truck up to Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto and said, hey, we want you for a 4th movie, even though that's breaking, the Screen Actors Guild. Like, we have to pay you more because of it.
It depends. Are they part of the guild?
I don't know.
Because, when you go to work in an industry, you don't have to be in the union or in the guild. That's one of those things that, I don't know how it works in the actors thing, but as far as I've been in IT and I've worked for government positions and stuff, and they have unions and stuff. You don't have to sign up for them. You don't get as much. You don't get as much leeway.
Some overarching legislation, though.
Oh, legislation.
I don't know.
You're acting like it's a law.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it is. Some rule within the industry or something.
I'm curious to see what they mean, what money truck, how much they would be making.
Yeah,
because it's not Robert Downey Jr. level money.
20% extra.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is, I look at Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto, and I'm like, yes, they're famous, but are they that famous?
They're not RDJ. Famous.
No, and
not after Iron
Man. And at that point, you go, oh no, they're not. So that's why they're doing it for a Star Trek movie, because they know that they have a steady flow of income on a project that would be fun to work on for eternity. I'm sorry,
but like I said,
that's my heaven, Scott. What I'm working on Star Trek movies over and over again.
What I'm more interested in is the fact that they're already signing up. We're talking about 4 Star Trek. We haven't seen the 3rd one yet.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting with Simon Pegg writing that.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't go weird. like
hopefully not.
Like his comments have been lately, and he sticks with, he knows how to make movies and good movies and stuff.
Don't screw us,
Yeah.
is what we're trying to say.
No, don't screw with Star Trek.
That's true.
I don't care about the geeks, the franchise.
Yeah.
And people will lash out at me. They already did. Shut your mouth. We'll talk later off the air about this, Mr. Argumentative. Not you, just people in general. That
Our
don't
third
like.
panelist.
This guy over here.
How dare he?
He's just looking at me. Yeah.
His arms are crossed and he's got a red face and steam coming out of his ears. Maybe that's a tea kettle. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
So let's go from Star Trek to Star Wars. Again, back to Star Wars with the actor who played Anakin Skywalker.
Jake Lloyd.
Yes, the young Anakin Skywalker.
Young.
Now,
it's working. It's working. And this is pod racing.
yes, well, apparently he thought it was pod racing because he was arrested after a high-speed chase.
Yes.
And
So,
that is just kind of hilarious.
I actually read an interesting article from Natalie Portman that said that the Star Wars prequels almost ruined her career.
Really?
Because they were so bad.
Oh, wow.
They were so bad that after she got done and no one wanted to take a chance on her.
Yeah.
Because they didn't think she was a good actress because of that.
Because it was Lucas who was controlling her acting.
Well, yeah, I mean, oh, sorry, that's too good of an acting.
You got to do it harder and more intense.
Yeah.
That's how he directs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I would say,
And
if I was a movie director and Natalie Portman came up to me after Star Wars Episode 1, I'd probably be like...
Yeah. Basically, she had to get a good friend vouch for her for something, and then, of course, she's done really well
She did
since
Black
then.
Swan, which was fantastic.
V for Vendetta.
Oh my gosh, V for Vendetta is
Even
amazing.
as Jane in Thor.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
Great.
Yeah.
But, so anyways, I bring that up because most of the other people that played in the first movie haven't really gone. Hayden Christensen, what has he been in recently?
Not much.
Yeah. Same with Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything else.
You know
as far
what's
as I
funny?
know.
Back when this movie came out, I was in, 5th grade or something?
Yeah.
Well, a girl in my class had just transferred from out of state, and she used to go to school with Jake Lloyd.
Okay.
Before he became famous. So I thought that was just kind of interesting. I think she's still my friend. If it's who I think it is, I got to talk to her again.
I don't know.
Just be like... And just ask her. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. It's always great to see actors arrested or get into something that their character might get into, and just be like, it's not all roses over there.
I would have rather had him be building a robot or something.
Yeah.
But,
just like Sean Bean getting into a knife fight. You remember that story? He got into a knife fight at a bar.
At a bar, that's right.
Yeah, because somebody was like harassing this woman and he didn't like it. Well, the guy stabbed him. He took the guy out and then went back inside and had another drink and stitched himself up in the bar.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he doesn't die in real life.
It's because he's died so much in the movies that now he cannot die in
exactly.
real life.
Scott, I'm excited to tell you about this next one because it combines something that you love with something that I love.
Okay.
I mean, we both really love both of these things.
Right.
But, we really love half of it.
Right.
So, Captain Marvel.
Love it.
Yep. After
Or rather,
Secret Wars.
love her.
Yes.
She's my Marvel girlfriend, by
yeah.
the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think there's,
Sorry, regular girlfriend. She's
what about
my Marvel
What about
one.
Spider-Gwen?
No, it's Captain Marvel. Oh,
so there's her new costume design after Secret Wars.
Sure.
Kind of a cool armor-ish.
It's pretty much
take.
the same thing. They changed her sash.
Yeah.
That she will wear, sash or whatever you want to call, that she wears around her waist and hangs down from yellow to red. Mm-hmm. And it's more utility belt than just decorative.
Yeah, she kind of looks more militaristic, actually.
But pretty much everything else, though, is mostly the same on it.
Well, anyway, her new comic after Secret Wars comes out is going to be written by the Agent Carter showrunners.
Oh, cool.
Which means I might have to pick up this comic as well.
I will be picking it up.
That's for
regardless.
well, yeah,
that's for sure.
I want to support the people who did so well on Agent Carter. So,
Correct.
Yeah. Marvel is going to Comic-Con. We talked about that. Oh, how about this one? Marvel is scouting Beyonce for an Avengers role.
I have been seeing this all over the internet, and I have not. So here's how much I care. I haven't clicked a single link.
Really?
But I'm still curious about what are they.
Yeah, what possible role could
what
they
do
have?
people?
Unless it's going to be like Black Panther's wife or something.
Can she act?
Yeah. Do you remember The only movie that I actually know her from is Gold Member, Austin Powers 3. She's Foxy Lady.
Oh, Foxy Cleopatra.
Yeah, Foxy Cleopatra.
Okay, yeah, she can act.
Yeah, and I was talking
everyone
about that with my wife, and she's like, she's good. You know?
And everyone loves her music. I mean, not everyone, but I'm just saying, as far as music industry goes, it's not like she releases terrible stuff all the time. So. Yeah. Okay, I mean, yeah, Black Panther's wife in Wakanda. Who else? I mean, I'm trying to think. Storm?
Of course, we go with the racist one first.
Storm?
No, because that's X-Men. You can't really.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I said, I don't know.
They're gonna create a new character called Barora, and she's got
weather
powers.
I'm trying to think.
We call her Hurricane-dra.
I always look over at my action figures while we're doing this. Whenever we are like, who could she be? And I'm like, who's over here that I totally have forgotten about?
You know that half of those are Warcraft characters, right?
They're still in action poses, right?
True. She could be Chen Stormstout.
She could play She-Hulk.
You know, yeah, okay, all right.
Like I'm just trying to think. Like, yeah, she's got the hair for it.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the same kind of hair as She-Hulk.
She could be Hellcat, maybe. Yeah, kind of a lesser known.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll find out, maybe, unless this is a complete rumor.
Yeah,
just like the Hawk Girl TV show. There was some rumor going around there was going to be a Hawk Girl TV show,
and it was squashed before it was even a rumor. Yeah. Like people were, Hawk Girl, maybe she'll be getting her own TV show, and she came out. She's like, no,
nope,
not gonna happen.
Nope. Thanks for the thoughts, though.
The confidence.
Yeah, she's like, I'm super excited for Legends of Tomorrow now.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited for her in Legends of Tomorrow. She's like the least touched on member in that group.
Yeah, like everybody else.
Everyone else is either already known or has a lot of she has no dialogue in the trailer.
Her and Rip Hunter are the two that don't really.
Well, and Rip Hunter has a whole bunch of dialogue already, so we kind of basically Rip Hunter is channeling Constantine. You know that.
A little bit of Constantine, and because he's being played by a Doctor Who character, a Doctor Who companion, he's kind of channeling Doctor Who as well,
right?
Which is fine. If he says wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, I'm out.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say you're totally in. You're going to squee.
No, I don't. Nah, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Let's talk about Gotham Season 2. That's coming.
I bet he'll make a joke, though, about something like they'll pull out a time sphere, and the guy will be like, I thought it'd be something a little more inconspicuous, like, I don't know, a foam box or something. Well, he says, the person he's talking to says, I thought it would be more inconspicuous, and he turns to him like, what? Like a police box? Come on, you know.
You know what?
I would be okay with that.
There has to be a nod to Doctor Who.
I would be
somewhere
totally
in there.
okay with that.
It's time travel. There has to be a nod.
Sure.
Or it's like, what would you like, a police box or a car?
He's digging through his his futuristic tools. He pulls out a sonic screwdriver and just kind of tosses it away.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I love it. So Gotham Season 2 is coming, and we're learning a little bit about it, including that Bruce Wayne will start developing his dual personality into becoming Batman.
We talked about this on the way to the movie today.
Mm-hmm. Which we saw Ted 2. We're not going to review it here. It was funny.
And I said I can't take him serious because he's still going to be a child.
Yeah,
he's still going to be a 11 or 12-year-old kid,
unless they kick it like 3 years later and he's 15 or something.
Even then, it needs to be like 5 years later and he's 17 and he's actually starting to look like an adult. Yeah. Which it'll be a totally different actor by that point.
If they do that,
so he can develop his own dual personality all he wants, but.
They do seem like they're jumping the gun a little bit with his story.
Yeah.
Just to keep people interested.
And they've already done that with half the villains. Half the villains are being shown in this time or in this age, and they're too old already.
Yeah, like Penguin has to be at least in his late 20s. Same with the Riddler. Yeah. I mean, early 20s at most. Yeah, I mean, you have to get a degree. Like, there's no way the Riddler wouldn't have gotten a college degree.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, so by the time that Batman gets to them 10 years later, they're going to be in like their 40s. Batman's going to be fighting grandparents, you know?
Yeah, so I have and this is actually the main complaint I've been reading about Gotham from everyone else that's criticizing it. They're like, I'm not interested anymore. They've already screwed everything up.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is you have to be very careful with any geek project, especially ones that have to do with Batman.
Oh, yeah, especially
Everybody
Batman.
loves Batman.
Everyone loves the Batman. I like Batman. I don't love the Batman, but I like Batman.
Well, I actually, going back to the first episode, I said Batman was stupid, I think.
Okay.
At one point. Or I insulted Batman, and I said we were going to get a lot of hate mail for it. We didn't.
We didn't get any mail.
Nope. That first episode.
Give us mail.
Mail time.
Please.
Sorry. Let's talk about Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, author of Sandman.
And a lot of DC comics.
And a very popular, very well-received book called American Gods.
Yes. Which is the story of the new gods of America. Duh. And like the old gods like Zeus and everybody have less power now because these new gods have come in and they're basically ruling greed and like the god of greed and things like that. Right. You know, they're not really named. They're more concepts these days, but it's kind of that story. And well, we were getting a TV series for it.
Yeah. And we talked, I think we might have mentioned it before.
Yes, we have mentioned it at least a little bit.
That it was in talks, but now it's actually been confirmed.
So I have to read this novel.
By Stars. I actually want to. It's been on my list for a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Neil Gaiman's, he's a brilliant writer. Brilliant. I mean, Sandman's like one of the most critically acclaimed graphic novels you can read out there.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. I have like a catch in my throat. Good for when you're trying to talk.
So before we get to the casting couch, last but not least, Steam. So we love Steam. We love buying games.
Wonderful.
Off it.
You get to smell it.
Are they still doing their summer sale right now?
Not that Steam. No, their summer sale's over.
It's over. Anyways, they have a long time ago, 2 years, I think.
Yeah, I think it was about 2 years ago.
They created a Steam box, and it was an
Which
operating system you could download for free, and you still can. So if you have an old PC or a oldish PC that you want to put it on, you can, and you can play games.
You basically convert it into a console.
Right.
A computer into a console.
So for the longest time, they've been developing a Steam controller. They've been developing their own Steam boxes, like official Steam boxes. And they came out with them. You can now buy the Steam controller for $50.
Okay.
You can buy
now that's the one with like the Sense.
It's got 2 touchpads on it. Yeah. And that sounds really weird, but it actually works really well.
Because there's a lot of mouse games.
Yeah, because there's a lot of games. So this is basically means you can use a controller to play games you would normally play on the computer on your TV.
Very cool.
Using a mouse, not necessarily a keyboard, but all the other controls are still there. Now, what I'm more excited for is the Steam Link. So if you're like me and you've already got a high-powered PC that plays games, you can take the Steam Link, plug it into a network connection, or wirelessly, hook it up to your TV, and then hook up a Steam controller to it.
Kind of like a Chromecast for
video games.
Wow.
So I can stream my Steam games from my computer to my TV.
That's very cool.
And there's no lag over the wired connection, as long as everything, of course, is set up properly on your network. But it's $50.
And
it'll stream at 1080p.
That is fantastic.
So your computer down in the basement or down in your office or wherever does all the game rendering. It does all the controls and everything. And all it does is just send that video feed over the network to your Steam Link.
Awesome.
So fantastic. I'm going to buy one. I mean, $50 is and you can buy that and a controller, $100.
Nice. You still need to play your Ouya.
yeah, I do. But the other thing too is Steam is now officially partnered up with Alienware and another company for the Steam boxes.
Okay.
And they're just basically
Cyber.
Yeah, and Cyber, SYBER, and they are consoles, and they started about 400,
450,
450, and they go up from there, depending on what kind of speeds and processor and stuff like that you want to buy with them. But so if you want a whole separate console, or you don't have, like, say you're an Xbox gamer and you don't have a high-powered PC to play games on, you can buy one of these as a console.
This is really cool because this is, I mean, for the longest time, PC has been dominating.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people don't know about it, but PC...
Master race.
Yeah, we're pretty much the master race when it comes to gaming. All other consoles be damned before us. Mm-hmm. And now we actually have something that we can compare to, you know? Yeah. People can go out and they can buy an Alienware Steam box. And Steam has so many games on it that are available anywhere else,
1,000 games.
And you don't have to run to the store to buy them. You don't have to have bulky things with discs in them. Binders with discs in them.
Or, like most people, game cases.
Or game cases. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. I mean, that takes up a lot of space. I mean, you can fill up bookshelves with game cases. Yep. I mean, you just download them directly there. You don't have to worry about ever putting a disc in or anything like that. I have plenty of games that are supposed to be for consoles, like that work better on consoles that I have on PC, and I love them.
Yeah, so that to me was really big news that came out. I think they, of course, announced it at E3, but it's just store.steampowered.com/hardware. And you can check them out.
Should we put this on the Facebook page this week?
Yeah, we could do that, yeah. Steam Link and the Steam controller are what I'm excited for.
Yeah.
If you need and that's only because I already have a PC that can play all those games. If I didn't, I would be interested in Steam Box as well.
And Steam Box is a perfect way for people to get
here's another thing, guys. Your old Steam games, guess what? It'll play them.
Exactly.
So there's none of this backwards compatibility.
Oh, that was a huge thing out of... did we talk about that last week?
We did.
E3? Okay, good.
For Microsoft.
For Microsoft, yeah.
Yep. And I found out more details on it that they right now only have like 40 games available, but it's because they're slowly converting all the games over.
And that takes a little bit of time. Like
so what you initially do is you pop the disc in your current that you own of your 360 game. It recognizes it as, Gears of War 2. You own it. Oh, cool. Would you like to download it to your Xbox One and play it? You click yes, it downloads the whole game to your Xbox, and you might have to pop the disc in just to verify that you own a copy of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and if you're an Xbox user, you're familiar with that already. The 360, you pretty much can download the whole game to the hard drive and run it directly off the hard drive. It makes it a lot faster, but you still have to have the disc in just to initially start the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, let's move on to the casting couch. The biggest news for casting this week is that we finally have a Spider-Man. It's not Asa Butterfield. We were wrong in that regard. It is a actor known as Tom Holland. He was born in 1996, so he is
young,
19.
Yeah. He doesn't look 19 to me.
No.
He looks like a 15-year-old.
Which, is kind of what they're going for with the new Spider-Man. He's been in The Impossible, Locke, How I Live Now, The Secret World of Arietti as a voice.
Arietti.
Arietti? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Oh, excuse me. And he's going to have a cameo, only a cameo in Civil War.
Okay.
Not a full-on,
Yeah, apparently he was in like a TV miniseries called Wolf Hall.
Yeah, there's not much.
Yeah, he hasn't been around long enough to have a lot of stuff.
Which is fine, I mean, we've seen Marvel do great things with unknown actors.
Yeah,
or actors who have...
We'll see what he does.
No career. Oh my gosh. I told you I wouldn't close this. And then what I did is I closed
it.
So we also have a director for the next Spider-Man movie, John Watts.
And I have no idea who this is.
And that's why I should have left this open, but I didn't.
Yep, you should.
do the placeholder music from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I don't know it off the top of my head.
I think that's him.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, okay, so he's done... They list one of his known fors as the Untitled Spider-Man reboot.
Yeah. So he's done Clown from 2014, Cop Car,
The Fuzz,
TV.
He's done some, the Onion stuff.
TV. Oh, so in other words, he's an unknown.
Good. Okay, I'm fine with that. I am fine with unknown.
Don't close it.
Thank you. I almost did it again because we have to talk about somebody else, Jessica Lucas. Oh, apparently this is its own thing now.
Yeah. Corey doesn't know how to computer, guys.
Everybody who listens to this podcast knows this. So she has been cast as Tigress in Gotham, which is a Batman villain, I guess. But she was in Cloverfield. I mean, she's the love interest.
In Pompeii.
Which I never saw Pompeii.
Me
and
either.
The New Evil Dead. And she's the man. Okay.
I didn't see Pompeii. I didn't see
done some good
Pompeii
stuff.
because guess what? It's been spoiled 1,000 years ago or 1,500 years ago. Guess what? Everyone dies in the city.
Yep. And
the volcano erupts, guys.
it happens. Sorry.
It says I lava you, and then erupts and kills everyone.
Oh, that's what we didn't talk about. Quick review. Well, we got one more. We got one more, and then we'll quick review this. Dwayne Johnson is just in everything these days now.
Yeah.
But he is going to star in the Rampage movie. Now, for those of you who don't know what Rampage is, you play one of 3 scientists who accidentally turn into giant monsters. Either a lizard, a ape, or I can't remember the third one.
Yeah, I can't remember. A robot? No.
Maybe, no. It wouldn't be a robot.
No.
Well, and then you run around buildings beating up each other and smashing through.
Trying to smash through the buildings.
Yeah, and eating, like, lovely ladies and things like that.
You get points for eating people. You get points for turning a building into rubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just destroy buildings and
I
beat
can
each
say
other
that
up.
we've had hours of fun playing this game.
And I hope that the movie does it justice.
Is it really Is it
Yes.
really that?
Yes. I will show
Wow.
you this this link here.
Because I
and
mean,
it's got
the name Rampage could be anything. Some guy gets laid off from his job and goes and murders a bunch of people. No, okay.
Nope.
A giant wolf, a monkey.
Oh, that's right. It's a wolf.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And a giant lizard.
Like, the giant lizard and the giant monkey are, like, iconic, but a giant wolf is just kind of like, okay, weird.
Yeah.
All right, then. Well,
but you know what? It's not going to focus on what we want, the monsters destroying buildings.
It's going to
focus on the humans trying to escape from them.
Yeah.
And it's going to be another Cloverfield crap where you won't even be able to see the monster, I bet.
I really hope that at one point one of them reaches into a building and grabs a lady out of the shower and eats her. Because that's all I remember about that, really.
Yep.
All right, so let's do a quick review on Inside Out.
Do we want any kind of, like, transition between it?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
We're just going to literally quick review it because we got a lot of trailers to get to.
Pixar's latest film.
Yes.
By the way.
Starring Amy Poehler. Directed by somebody I can't remember.
And Bill Hader's in it, and I can't remember who plays Sadness.
Lewis Black is in it. Phyllis Smith plays Sadness, and she's from The Office.
Yeah,
she's the large lady on The Office, the big lady.
Yeah, with glasses, and she always wears an ugly dress.
That's as far as I remember. Yeah. Anyway, first let's start off with the short, Lava, which is just a cute little like Hawaiian folk song.
I think, and I could be totally wrong, but it seems like it's some kind of like Polynesian or
myth
or something myth about an island. It's about the whole creation of the islands that they live on, of course. Yeah. And there was one lone island, and that
sang every day.
That sang some song every day, and here's the song. And anyways, Pixar basically took that and turned it into a short.
I thought it was cute.
It could be original. I thought it could have done without the music.
Yeah, I think Pixar does a lot better with their shorts when they don't have very much talking.
I like it when it's silent. Like the one with the dog that eats all that stuff.
That's from Big Hero 6, though.
Yeah,
that's not Pixar.
I know, but
that's
the style I like.
Yeah, where nobody really talks.
Yeah,
but it was all right.
It was all right.
I thought it was cute.
It wasn't like some of the ones where you watch them, and you're like, I want to see a movie of that. I looked at it and was like, I don't want to see that movie.
No,
it's just it's an okay short, but nothing else.
Anyway, Inside Out.
Yes,
starts out with like the first moments in this kid's life, and it's all joy.
Yeah,
and she's really happy for, I think she says like 33 seconds, and then sadness appears.
Yes,
and it shows them inside the girl's mind, and they just have one button.
Yeah.
And they just push the button for their emotional response.
So you're either
joy. That right there hooked me.
Yeah.
Being like, as soon as Joy hit it and it lights up yellow for her color, and she's happy and everything.
I love the concept of, as you grow older, the control panel in your head gets more and more complicated.
And you get more and more complicated.
You get more and more emotions.
Exactly. It's a really interesting movie. My wife was a little weary about it because she didn't like the fact that from the previews, it looked like they were trying to change sadness, like to be something other than sadness, which Joy kind of does, and then realizes, no, sadness is sadness for a reason. I think it's fantastic. It's in my top 5. Like, I think it's really well done.
I would say it's one of Pixar's best. That's for sure.
Yep.
It's definitely for sure. Oh, and it's also a Disney Pixar.
That's just how Pixar does it. They just do Disney Pixar.
Is it always Disney now? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it is beautiful. You get to explore the world of the mind, as imagined by Pixar, which is great. There's just so many cute things in it that you're like, oh yeah, I've heard about that process in science class. Yeah. It's explained now,
Yeah. Well, and it's not wholly accurate to neuroscience, of course, but it's still a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and I like to say, and I'm going to quote this from someone else I heard saying it, Disney or Pixar makes movies for adults that kids are also able to see, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So if you have any kind of qualms about going to a Pixar movie, don't. You need to go see these. These are fantastic movies.
They are great.
They're very adult, and I'm not talking they swear and they have innuendo and stuff. No, they're very deep. They have a lot of
there are points in there. Yeah, there are points in there where you're like, oh, that's me. I've been like that sometime in my life, and it's about people looking back on their childhood, basically.
Yeah.
Now, all of the bad reviews, it got 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
From critics.
Yeah.
And then users 98.
Yeah.
But all the bad reviews that I saw from critics were, this is way too deep to be a child's movie kind of stuff. So it's people who don't understand that Pixar is not making movies for kids.
Yeah. Pixar goes, we have an idea, and we're gonna go over depression and emotions and dealing with stuff that's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And they go, great. Now, how can we also let kids see it as well?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's have this here's our main theme. I mean, they do it in everything. Cars had a big issues with stuff.
Yeah, not getting too famous, not
pride
forgetting
and things like that.
Up had loss in it, a lot of loss and a lot of learning to live again, basically.
Yeah, but then they also are like, okay, so how can we throw in things that kids will be happy with?
And usually the jokes that they throw in for kids happen to be some of the funniest jokes for adults too.
Right.
Yeah.
Pixar, they're brilliant. The people that work there, they're amazing. I will give it a 4.5 out of 5.
I'm going to go 5 out of 5.
And I'm only doing that because I have a real hard time giving things 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
You know what? Screw it. Yeah, 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
you're right. It is one of the
damn
top
right.
5.
I'm right.
I think it's the second or third of my top 5.
I think it's my number 2 for top 5 Pixar movies. It goes Incredibles, of course, and then it goes Inside Out.
Yeah, for me, it's Incredibles, WALL-E.
No, WALL-E would WALL-E be first for you, or do you like Incredibles more?
I think I like the Incredibles more.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Incredibles, WALL-E, and then Inside Out. So go see it.
Yes,
it is
absolutely.
amazing. Do you want to do a quickie review on Ted 2? Just
it's really funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
A lot of good cameos in there.
If you like Seth MacFarlane and you like Family Guy and you like his Million Ways to Die in the West and Ted 1, if you like Ted 1, you'll like Ted 2. A lot of the same kind of stuff. Funny. Amanda Seyfried was actually really good in it.
Yeah, you know what? It's great, and it's great to see her as kind of the hero role in this. You know,
I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5.
I'll give it a 4 as well.
Yep.
You got to remember not to be too harsh on comedy movies.
Yeah.
For plot problems and stuff.
Yeah, any comedy movie, don't read critic reviews.
No,
critics don't. They don't have any humor.
There's very few, unless it's like a Judd Apatow movie. They don't really like.
And
any
even
comedy.
then, I don't like those movies most of the time.
Well, that nobody does, except for snotty critics.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say about Inside Out. Going back to it, this movie made me think for 4 or 5 days. I mean, half of that was filled with that stupid Gum song, but but the other half was really oh man, that movie was so good. I literally called our mother and said, "Hey, do you want to go see a movie today? I want to take you to Inside Out." Because I wanted to see it again that bad.
Right, right.
Which I think that might still be on the table, so I might be going to see it. Yep. Woo! All right, let's go ahead and get into the big part. Let's get into trailers and videos.
Check out the new meat. I'm gonna slather you up in Navi and jelly. Go to town.
Let's make something clear. This one here's our booty. You want to get to him, you go through us. Or, more accurately, we go through you.
right, yeah, it's time for trailers and videos.
So the first little bit we're going to go over is pretty much everything we saw from E3 that either caught our eye or we went, huh, that's cool.
So settle in for some video game talk, people.
Yep.
We don't do that very often, but here we go.
Yeah.
Ready Player One.
Yeah, we talked about that as a book.
No, like, never mind.
Ready Player One, start.
Yeah.
Star Fox Zero. New Star Fox game coming out.
Fantastic. There hasn't been... If Tychus were here, he would say it's about time.
Yeah. It looks great. It's got great graphics.
Yeah, it looks like the old Star Fox game updated, which at first sounds like a bad thing, like, oh, they're just doing the same thing. But the first Star Fox game is amazing. Like,
Yes.
the other one they came after it, where Star Fox, like, crashes on a planet and you run around as him, wasn't as good.
This one's the same thing. You're in ships and stuff.
You're in ships. You're in...
Next one on our list, Gears of War 4. I'm a huge fan of the Gears of War franchise.
I am not, so I'll let you take it.
So Gears of War is the third-person shooter. You fight a bunch of aliens and stuff.
You have a chainsaw sword.
What I really liked in the trailer that I saw for this is it looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The graphics on it look fantastic.
So that's one thing that we should talk about really quick, just kind of an overall thing.
Yes.
They're not doing cinematics differently anymore.
Yes.
Like, they will have a cinematic trailer when the game comes out. They will have a cinematic opening for it. But a lot of their E3 showing and everything
is
is
in-game footage.
All in-game. And it looks beautiful.
It looks cinematic quality sometimes.
And we'll talk about one later that I showed to my wife, and and halfway through I'm like, by the way, this is in-game footage, and she's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This looks like great quality stuff, you know?
So the next one, Sea of Thieves.
Which is an MMO.
MMO, but pirates. So you get on a pirate ship, you go around the ocean, you fight other pirate ships.
I'm excited. You go
Corey
search for buried treasure.
Corey would be a merchant yelling, oysters, clams, and cockles.
Pretty much. Like, I think about that, I'm like, oh, I could be a buccaneer, and I'm like, no, I'd probably be back at port. For when people got back, I'd be offering them fake
You'd be
beer.
the guy. You'd be the one that does the quest to swab the deck back and forth to get it clean, just to get your money.
Like, everybody else is handling cannons, and I'm like, hey, can we keep it clean, you guys?
Yeah. Rare, the company that makes a whole bunch of games. What were some of the ones?
Banjo-Kazooie?
Banjo-Kazooie was one.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Battletoads.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of other, like 30 different other games.
They are releasing a replay bundle for Xbox. It's 30 games for $30 over 30 years.
Yes.
So not you don't get them one every year. I mean, for the last 30 years.
Now only 99 cents a game.
Yep. But that was pretty cool that I thought. If you're a fan of Dark Souls, they're coming out with a third one.
And they showed a trailer for that showed you absolutely nothing other than somebody spending half a minute trying to grab a crown.
Yeah, and there were some. Well, that was the one the giant king thing woke up. And stood up,
which you liked. You like anything to do with giants, like
there was
dead giants.
There was an in-game video of the new Tomb Raider game, which most people said the same thing that you did. It looks just like the other Tomb Raiders.
Yes, a lot of climbing, a lot of exploring.
Climbing a cliff face, that kind of stuff.
The only reason we're excited for Halo 5 is because it's got Nathan Fillion in it.
Yeah, and it actually looks kind of fun. That's the only thing that's got me interested in Halo 5.
Yeah, so I can't believe I'm saying that, but that looks great from what we saw from the video there.
The Division had a video.
No, this is a game that keeps getting delayed and delayed because they want to get it right. Not really sure what. I mean, it looks like it's about people during a plague that are trying to help keep the order.
Yeah. Basically, they're the ones that they call in when crap hits the fan.
Yeah.
So, the next two are Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege and Ghost Recon Wildlands. Yeah, pretty much. They're the exact same as all the previous games, only a little updated graphics.
Yeah.
Maybe some new weapons.
I'm excited to hear you say this next title.
South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
I'm so childish. Like, that's the fourth time that I've heard that.
Just like what Cartman.
So it's the sequel to The Stick of Truth.
Yes.
And it's the same kind of RPG style game with
but this time it's
South Park.
superheroes.
Yep.
So if you like this Stick of Truth and you liked the first South Park game, you'll probably love this one.
And the South Park game, I've seen it, and I actually have it. I need to play it. But everything I've seen about it is it's super funny.
Yep.
So it's just a giant South Park episode that you play through yourself.
Yes. This is probably my pick. This is probably my pick for this whole list.
Like the top one?
Yep. Star Wars Battlefront.
Yes.
It looks brilliant. They show you gameplay, multiplayer gameplay of the Battle of Koth.
Yes. The Battle of Hoth, Rebels versus the Empire, which, by the way, sorry, Rebels, like, there's a spoiler. You lose on that one.
Well, we knew that from the movie.
And they're showing this, and it's like, and the Rebels are like, oh, we need to hold these choke points, and they keep losing them, and I'm like, oh, that's right. The bad guys win in this one.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really cool switch between them, and at the end you get to see Darth Vader, which is awesome.
Yeah, well, they switch back and forth between Rebels and then Imperial. Looks brilliant.
Yep.
Looks amazing. The gameplay looks awesome. Super fun. Makes me actually care about this game and want to play Star Wars.
Yep.
The next one, Mirror's Edge. Apparently there was.
Oh, you didn't. You also put down that they have their co-op.
Yeah,
they have a co-op trailer for it too, which looks just as cool. Sorry, go on.
Mirror's Edge. Don't really know anything about that game.
It looks like a Japanese dystopian future kind of action RPG. So
there's a new Need for Speed. Okay. If you like racing games or if you like the Need for Speed franchise, you'll enjoy this.
There's a new Mass Effect coming out
called Mass Effect Andromeda,
which looks like well, we hope that it doesn't disappoint fans as much as Mass Effect 3 did.
Yeah.
Do you know what Horizon Zero Dawn is?
Do you remember? It's the one I showed you that I said you would be really
was that
excited
this one?
About? Yes.
I thought that was The Last Guardian.
No, different one.
Okay, so this is the one that I showed to Casey.
The Last Guardian?
No. Horizon Zero Dawn. With the robots, right?
Yep.
So it's this really cool.
Mankind has fallen,
and they now
a bunch of tribes,
live in tribes, and it turns out that robots are animals. It's so like crazy. It's like a mind explosion.
Yeah, there's pretty much no more animals. They hunt robots basically
for their biofuel and everything like that.
And it looks really cool.
It looks fantastic.
Street Fighter V.
You said the de facto fighting game.
I think it's out of all fighting games, Street Fighter is the fighting franchise. Correct me if I'm wrong. Argue with me. Whatever.
Super Smash Brothers.
I don't think anything. They wouldn't be around without Street Fighter.
That's true. Actually, Super Smash Brothers is getting Street Fighter characters. They got their announcement at E3.
There's a new Hitman game coming out.
Which
the trailer was a little interesting, but if you're a fan of the Hitman franchise and series, you'll really like this one.
Oh yeah. Destiny: The Taken King,
which is their expansion, that they came out with. Assassin's Creed came out with a couple new trailers and clips. One, the one that we liked was Evie Fry, which is the female assassin.
Which I said, they probably just put in because of the demand.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that didn't like it, that there wasn't one in the multiplayer.
In Unity. But I think we were talking about this. We think female assassins are better than male assassins.
Yep. Yet another Call of Duty.
Assassinations is women's work.
Yet another Call of Duty, Black Ops 3. And when I showed you this, you went,
it's more of the same.
And then you saw that it was a bunch of like cyborgs and stuff. And you're like, oh, that's kind of cool.
And it looks like there's a bunch of different character types that you can choose from. There's running on walls and everything, which that right there is where Black Ops or Call of Duty in general needs to go, is kind of this Overwatch style, of pick a hero and he's got his own abilities and weapons and stuff, Right. I think that's the only way to go to make your franchise viable.
There's a new Uncharted. So if you're a fan of the Uncharted franchise, it looks really cool. Actually, I watched the video, and it's a big chase scene from a city, and you like going through down the hills and stuff in a car,
cool.
and it's pretty cool. The Last Guardian is a little weird one. It's got a little small kid that looks like a monk, basically, and he's running through these ruins, and there's this giant cat thing that is like his pet. It's almost like Never-Ending Story.
Almost like Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah, it's pretty much Avatar of the game.
I might have to go see that one.
Really interesting. Final Fantasy VII.
Wait. We already had Final Fantasy VII.
And they are remaking it.
What?
And they're not just re-releasing it, they are remaking it with all new updated graphics. I don't know if the turn-based system will still be there or not.
Oh, it will be. That's Final Fantasy. You can't have Final Fantasy without turn-based.
But a lot of people are like, I hope they make it without, because that's the only thing I don't like about Final Fantasy is the turn-based system. And last but definitely not least, which this is actually one of our Hall of Famers originally.
Yes.
A new Doom.
which is great.
The fourth one, I believe.
I really hope you go through.
It is super gory.
I hope you fight Hitler at the end.
It's super gory and it's super crazy. Demons, aliens, they'll explode, a bunch of blood. So, if you
was that Doom? No, that you fought Hitler at the end.
I don't know.
It was Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's your E3 coverage, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. They're really cool. We'll post them all this week.
Of course. Yep. And they'll actually be separate. We're going to do that one as a separate set of links, I think. So,
yep.
Now let's get to our regular trailers and videos.
Yeah, this is the stuff that we've seen on the internet this week.
The first one's called Clueless Gamer. It is Conan O'Brien and a couple people.
Andy Richter and like one of his producers.
And one of his producers versus the 3 people from the cast of Silicon Valley in Halo 5. Which, by the way, hadn't been released. They got an advanced early access to that. So it is hilarious. They play each other, and of course, Conan's team has no idea how to even play.
And they're like,
and he's like, why am I running backwards?
And the other guy's like, you're controlling your own character.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Chris Pratt got pranked with a dinosaur. So they do that. We've talked about this video before where they put the guy in the raptor suit and everything. And they do it to Chris Pratt where he was walking through and the raptor comes at him and he like jumps back and then he realizes that it's kind of a prank and he puts his hand up and the raptor stops.
Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious.
The next one, we'll have to find a new link for this. It's called A Deadly Adoption. It's a Lifetime movie with Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig where they are going to adopt a kid, and then there's all this crazy stuff that happens, and it's supposed to be like a horror movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's why it's called A Deadly Adoption.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm interested.
Yep.
2 animated movies. Kung Fu Panda 3 got its first trailer.
Right.
Which is hilarious. You should go check it out.
Yeah. It's got Bryan Cranston as Poe's dad. It's amazing.
Their first moment together is just fantastic.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
And then we also got The Secret Life of Pets, which is coming out next year from the guys who created Despicable Me.
Okay.
And it's basically this video of what happens when you leave the house. What do your pets do?
Yes.
And it's this cute little video of like different things happening. We'll link it and you can see like there's really nothing plot-wise to it. It's just a lot of funny clips about what pets do when you're not around.
Well, at least as far as the trailers.
Yeah.
We don't know how the movie will
I mean, we better hope the movie has plot to it.
Yeah. So the Terminator.
Yes.
Coming out with Terminator Genesis next week on the 1st.
Yes.
So Wednesday. And Arnold Schwarzenegger put on all of the makeup for it, and he walked around and pranked people. He yells at a guy in a truck to get out, and the guy starts to get out, and he's like, "Just kidding," He goes into a wax museum and just stands, perfectly still, and people take photos, and he's like,
"No touching,
no touching," and then he
they
moves
freak
and they
out.
freak out and run. It's hilarious. Go
it is
watch
great,
it. Yep.
and it's worth it for the moment at the end after he talks about why he's doing the video, where he's like, "Who is this girl?" And it's Justin Bieber wax statue.
Yep. He goes into like a sunglass shop and, "Do you think this would stop a shotgun blast?"
Yeah.
The next one is someone took the trailer for Jurassic World and put
their dachshunds,
the wiener dogs. It's called Jurassic Weenie, and it put them in place of the dinosaurs with the dinosaur noises. Though.
It's pretty hilarious.
Pretty fun.
I enjoyed it. We got a trailer for a new comedy movie coming with Mark Wahlberg and
Will
Ferrell. Who at first when I heard you say that, I was like, oh, the other guys too.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first when I saw it.
This one's called Daddy's Home, and Mark Wahlberg is like the deadbeat dad of this family. And Will Ferrell's the stepdad. Well, Mark Wahlberg comes back after
he's not a deadbeat, but he's not there anymore.
Yeah,
because he's cool. He's
the cool dad.
He's
basically.
the cool dad.
Yeah, he's all buff and ripped and everything compared to Will Ferrell's dumpy form.
If you have a problem with the Star Wars prequels, which most people do, and you want to rewatch them. But you don't want to watch them all because it's like 6.5, 7 hours of stuff.
Of terribleness.
Someone on YouTube took the episodes 1 through 3 and super edited them together to be 2 hours long. And it cuts out like 99% of the first movie. And
a lot of probably the second movie.
There's a decent chunk of the second. It's probably like 50-50 on the second and third.
Yeah. It's like 2 hours long, though.
Yeah.
So they cut an hour out of each of them.
Pretty much.
Or more.
The funny thing is it actually works together because a lot of the stuff they cut is pointless.
It's probably all pointless love story between Anakin and Padme that they cut.
Yeah, a lot of it is.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to have them eating and him forcing her an orange, which sounds really bad, or a peach.
Yeah. Or whatever weird fruits on that planet.
Yeah. A Naboo peach.
Yeah.
And then we got a trailer for Heroes Reborn, which just gets me excited. You get to see some new faces, some old faces. Yeah, it's good stuff. And then we got a Fear the Walking Dead teaser. We actually got 2 different ones. I only showed you one. And they're all just clips about something's going on. And then it's 30 seconds of that, and then it cuts.
Right.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
And you know what?
I'm not even excited. I have no desire to watch this show.
You know why it's annoying? Because we know what's happening.
Yeah.
They don't need to be all mysterious about it.
Yeah, I have no desire to watch this show.
Yeah.
Not one bit.
Well, I think we should. I think we should give it 3 episodes. Maybe you'll like it.
I know, we gave way too many to Gotham.
Some people in the house like it, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's get into our picks of the week.
Why, the porpoise can communicate telepathically, Miss Mellon. If we can transplant at least 15% of their brain matter into ours, we may be able to read minds. Darn. A perfectly good brain wasted. I think you've seen enough. How about a nightcap? Let's say, my place.
That's right, a waste of a brain.
Yes, perfectly good brain.
That's because you listen to this podcast.
I was going to say, that's what happens when you listen to our podcast.
Yep. So, my pick of the week this week is Lego.
Okay.
Just Lego in general.
Just Lego in general? They're awesome?
Yep.
Don't step on them.
Ouch.
That should be their
Don't step
their
on
tag.
us.
Legos, lots of fun.
Don't tread on us.
Don't tread on me.
No, so they come out with these minifigure series, which are basically blind boosters that you buy for like $2, and it's got some cool figure in it. Sometimes you get somebody in a pig suit or a unicorn suit, that kind of thing. Well, they just announced their Series 14 figures, and I just love this because it's all horror genre stuff.
Okay.
Like, just from this picture, you've got Frankenstein's monster with a guitar, by the way, a witch, a skeleton, and a vampire lady, countess.
Yes, a countess.
So the full thing that you can get a mad scientist, the fly, crazy witch, gargoyle, rocker monster, which is I'm assuming the Frankenstein monster, lady vampire, grim reaper, specter / ghost / phantom / spirit, a skeleton guy, Bigfoot, tiger woman, werewolf, zombie, pirate, captain, zombie cheerleader, zombie businessman, and plant monster / man-eating plant.
Okay, cool.
Which I want to buy as many packs of this as I can so I can get all 14 of these because they look fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great little things to decorate like your desk with.
We have one in our cactus plant.
Yep.
A little Laura Croft.
Yep.
All right, Scott.
So my pick of the week
is another trailer or another video.
But I didn't want to cover it in the videos because I wanted more to talk about.
Oh, it's fantastic.
If you enjoy Blizzard's StarCraft,
which we do,
we love it. We absolutely love it. What happened is, you can hear me better now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to give you subtle signals here.
Yeah. The flipping me off wasn't a very good signal, but so StarCraft. Anyways,
yes.
Freddie Wong has made a lot of YouTube videos. Really good. He does a really good job.
Rocket Jump Productions, right?
He came out with another one called The Rush, and I didn't know what it was, and so I watched it. And when I heard the word The Rush, first thing that came to my mind, of course, was Zerg Rush.
Really?
But
that was the first thing that came to your mind?
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
I was thinking a band.
Yeah, okay. However, you start it up, and the very first scene is
Terran Medevac.
Terran Medevac's flying overhead. And I squeed like a freaking, girl at a Bieber concert.
You're like, oh my God, they're doing a StarCraft thing.
And holy crap, It is amazing. The graphics on it are brilliant. I would watch this movie in a heartbeat if it was a movie. It's live action, so it's got a couple live actors.
Yep.
And there's a twist.
There's such a big twist.
There's such a big twist.
That you're just like, oh my gosh, really?
I mean, you get to see some awesome things. You get to see a fully fleshed out Zergling, which looks amazing. Muddalisks.
Yep.
You get to see siege tanks. You get to see Vespine extractors.
Yes.
Stuff like that. You get to see a command center.
You get to see every building in a Terran that can lift off.
Yep. And it is fan-freaking-tastic. And we'll put it on the podcast page, the Facebook podcast page. And it looks awesome. So awesome.
Excellent pick of the week.
Yes.
All right. That is going to do it for the Actual Geekery podcast this week. If you have a pick of the week that you would like to send to us, didn't somebody send us one? No.
Adam told us one, but I can't remember what he said.
Sorry, Adam.
you have to email us. That's the best way to contact us.
Technically,
guys.
that was during the week we were off, though. So, yeah. But if you would like to email us, you can send it to actsofgeekery@gmail.com.
Or you can go to facebook.com/actsofgeekery and leave us a comment there, either on one of our, just on the page, or one of the videos or links that we post. Or you can either send us even a private message on there as well.
Yep. Or you can go to twitter.com. We are at Acts of Geekery, or just using the hashtag Acts of Geekery.
You can also find us on youtube.com. Just search for Acts of Geekery and just find our page. We post our podcast up there every week, and then some.
And lastly, and most importantly, you can go to iTunes and subscribe to our podcast and get it directly downloaded to your computer every week. And you can leave us a 5-star or any star you want review. We're not picky. 5 stars would be preferable.
Yeah, that's the best way to support us is through iTunes. Go on there. You can download the latest podcasts from there, usually the day of. We usually post it by the end of Sunday.
Yeah.
So, on Sundays in the week.
Yep.
And you can also, please leave us a message. And all those are ACTS, not AXE.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Scott.
Thank you,
It's been a great year so far.
We're done.
Yeah.
We'll never be back.
Nope.
It'll be...
And if we are or aren't, you won't know about it.
It'll be Acts of Geekery 2, The Geekening.
The Geekening.
Axe harder.
I would think that we would be a full geek. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Or, axe harder. Well, until next time, I'm Corey.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek.
Keep geeking out.
You shall not pass.